Thanks for watching today's service from Keys Vineyard Community Church. Thanks for watching today's service from Keys Vineyard Community Church. Make sure to like us on Facebook and subscribe to us on YouTube. For more information, log on to...
Okay, we're live currently. I'll explain to everybody what happened here in a second.
Hello, Vineyard.
Hello, Vineyard.
Hello. All right. Kurt's with us. How good to see you, Kurt. I thought Douglas was about to explain something, so I didn't say too much.
See, what happened was I use quite a bit of automation in our setup, and there was an old queue that started the stream for Wednesday nights at 6:55. So that's why it went live at 6:55 on Wednesday. So
computers aren't usually on at church,
right?
On
but
Wednesdays.
I had left my computer on in case I needed to do work, and then I realized I didn't have it connected to Chrome Remote Desktop. So I was able to log into another computer that was able to control that computer, and I was able to end the stream. So
okay, and Joe just said gotcha, but I don't know if he was talking about what you just said or just said gotcha. But anyway, we're very glad you're with us. And, I would say, Douglas, that if people aren't joining us right now, they're probably doing something else.
Well, we got a few viewers, and, we got it up in about 5 minutes. And it's a funny story. I had to send my poor wife to to do it. And I had figured it out probably when she was halfway to the church. So I was like, I got it, honey. You're good. Come home.
At least she doesn't have to click any buttons.
Yeah. So.
Well, that's good. And we got people joining. So, yes, we're happy to see you. And Gibson's here in the back. And good. I see our notes are there. And so we didn't get any time to do any pre-show chatting. So we just get to go and do our thing here. That's good. So we'll just wing it. We normally start with a few things that we're doing anyway for you guys to check out. So please don't forget to get the app if you don't have the app already. And everything is just a click away on the app. Makes everything really easy. All the different things we're doing. Because we have several different websites. They all have sort of slightly different purposes, but the app connects them all. So, we have one website that people would sort of find us online with, and that's keysvineyard.com. And then we have another one that's Vineyard Church Online or keysvineyard.info, where you can find sort of all the online things that we're doing. And then we have the Bible Institute website. So the app really links all three of those, and we do different things on the app and on the different sites. Because like my Tuesday Zoom meetings that we're calling Vine Press, we do those on the Online Bible Institute. That's where we host those. So there's links to them on the website, but that's where you find them. So anyway, get the app if you don't have it. We've got a giveaway coming up September 5th. We're looking forward to that. I've got to finalize those details with Chef Matt. So I'm going to give myself a note right here to call him because I haven't done it yet this week. So I'm glad for the reminder. That'll be September 5th.
Got to have the chef, man. Chef.
Got to have the chef.
Chef Matt.
He's on it. He's got some great ideas. I just got to make sure we have it all together and all those things are happening. I mentioned the Vine Press Zoom meeting. That goes on Tuesdays at 2. That's been very good. And we also live streamed that this past week. So it was on Facebook, and I'm assuming it was on YouTube. It didn't make it to the app. There's still something wrong there. But we'll have to fix it.
We're always working on technical stuff. We have this service, and that's where the stream goes. So it goes from one place to all the distributors, and so you have to change the title, and we have to do that manually. I haven't figured out how to automate that perfectly yet. So that got left behind. And if you'll notice, the Vine Press's title yesterday said Hello Vineyard, and we had decided spur of the moment to stream the Vine Press to all the locations. But we'll make sure it gets dialed in for this weekend and for next week.
Yeah. All these things are getting better. I know that
we are not. We are not BBC, NBC, ABC. We're just
guys.
We're getting a lot of good feedback on all of the Zoom meetings. They're all during the week. They're all very well attended, and people are enjoying them. Barry Pastor Barry just started a new men's meeting Monday night, and I think he said they had 15 people in that meeting. So that's great online. So very good. And I know the other ones, if you haven't looked, you can find all the different Zoom meetings at vineyardzoom.com. And they have a couple of women's studies on Monday. Pastor Georgina does one, and she does one, and then Alicia does one on Tuesday, I think, night. And Alice and Angie host a Tuesday morning prayer meeting with a little devotional. And so there's things happening all week long. So check those out. That's really good. And all right. I kind of took that time. Douglas, you look like you're still doing things. Are you caught up?
Well, Georgina commented, I can't hear. So I checked on my phone and I can hear it. So try turning it off and back on again.
Yeah, Kimberly just told her that too, because it's working for me. And it was working on my Facebook. I have that on my iPad, and I had to turn the volume off on that. So oh, look at that! Mike Phelps joined. Hello, Mike Phelps. I know I'm not commenting there. I see your mom's there too, but Mike Phelps is out in Colorado, I think.
We like to ask the guests, and Kurt, you're our guest today, so we'll start with this one. What exactly do you do at Keys Vineyard Community Church?
Everything. No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding. It stems from, it started off as photography, and then I kind of used the church as an outlet to practice a lot of my other skills, and which can be audio and, any type of media production. Reed really wanted to say hi.
Yeah, Kurt's at my house right now, so.
Yeah, I'm in the other room.
Yeah.
So photography, videography, we've been working on the sound system. We're trying a whole new setup. And I'm not going to get too far into that because it's just complicated. But anything else would be, I had a really good answer for this. What else do I do? Well, I think I'm kind of Doug's visionary for our advancement in tech. Like Doug, I have the ideas of what we should do, and Doug actually kind of is the brains. He makes the thing. He makes it do the thing.
There you go. It's got the.
Doug makes like I have an idea, and then Doug makes it do the thing, and we both learn from each other. And
hey, I need to hop in for a second because I think that we got an issue.
Let's see.
Because the Facebook thing won't
our Facebook
stream.
Is chugging.
Yeah.
Well, see, now I've got Facebook, so try, if you are experiencing buffering, just restart it, because I'm getting it here clear.
All right, well, we lost everybody on our stream, and everybody's saying they got problems and it's buffering, and
We all died.
Oh, no.
Well, we're down to 2 people.
Okay, so let me try restarting the stream. So, you want to do that?
Well,
I don't mind.
You got 3 people on, but it's not working on my end. I don't know. Your call. I don't know your technical side of it.
All right, we'll try. Let me try something real quick.
I had a really good answer for this.
Well, it looks like there's 10 people back on there now.
Right. So here, I just restarted it. We'll blame AT&T, but we're live right now. And so hopefully everybody can rejoin, and we'll give them a second to rejoin. But
it's okay. We can take a few L's every now and then.
We're talking about how amazing our tech stuff is, and then my home internet dies.
Everything quit working.
Yeah. All right, so I've got it working Facebook on my phone.
Okay. Well, keep talking then.
Okay, so we'll kind of pick up where we left off. I'm going to try to get the comments rolling in here again. So, yeah, we asked what Kurt did, and he's heavily involved in the tech ministry. See, I can hear it now. There we go. Okay, cool. So, Kurt, how long have you been with us at the church?
I don't know. You tell me.
Well, there's sort of multiple seasons that you've been at church. When was the first time I hired you at the church, and when did you start most recently? How about that?
I think
Were you 15?
I still have like my taxes from 2015, 2014, like in my tax folder.
And so you're what, 22 right now?
Yeah.
And 6 years ago, you would have been 16. So 15, 16, you started working.
I feel like I worked for you before then too. So,
Yeah.
I mean, it's been a while.
Yeah. Cool.
I think 2013, I have some pay stub, like, yeah.
So you didn't really introduce Kurt. So Kurt's one of your brothers-in-law. People may not know that. And and Kim's brother. And
what number brother are you? Because I think most of the folks in the show know Fuel on Fire.
I'm the seventh child, and there's only one girl. So I mean, I think that makes me the sixth son. I don't know.
There you go.
It's hard to keep track.
That's good.
It sounds so prophetic when you say it right there, right?
That's some good math skills right there.
Yeah.
So he's definitely grown a lot in the last 6 or 7 years from a smart aleck teenager to a smart aleck young man.
I didn't do it.
Good job keeping those IRS docs, Kurt. Georgina's proud of you for the paperwork. So recently you've been involved with my dad's Vine Press class and the Bible Institute. How's your time studying in those areas of study been? Like, how has it been in Vine Press? How's it been in the Bible Institute?
Honestly, I don't even know if the Vine Press. I actually wanted to ask Steve this question: is that class more for our own knowledge rather than like it being accredited type class, or are you able to make that class accredited, kind of like the New Testament Survey 1, Survey 2?
Yeah, I'm counting that with the whole, and actually we call it Vineyard Ministry Training. The Vine Press is sort of a part of that, but I have a group of people that I'm working with who have things they have to do every week. Vine Press is one part of it, and then there's usually some teaching that I share with them, either from me or we've just worked through an N.T. Wright series on hope with that whole group. And
that was dope.
Yeah, and we'll do some other things, and we do other things along the way, but I don't want to overload them with work, but there is some things they have to spend some time watching some videos, making some comments, interacting. And then they have to, that was a weird noise I just had in my ears.
That was the window unit.
and then
my home is not a production studio. I apologize.
Yeah. And then what was I going to say? Oh, so they have to do some things, and one of the things that I ask them to do every week is to ask me a question, because I want to know that they're listening to the messages. And one of the best ways I can tell if they're actually listening to what I'm saying during the week on the weekends is by asking me a question. And I ask that not because I don't think you're listening, but because just about everybody that's in that class is busy. They're all doing either volunteering or working or something. The majority of the people in that group have something going on the weekends with us. So I want to make sure that they take time to listen and can be a part. So that's kind of what's going on with that. But, it's my hope for these folks that are in there who have, some measure of calling on their lives, and we just want to bless that and see where it goes.
So with that knowledge intact, how's it been in the Bible Institute with your classes? How many classes have you taken in the Bible Institute? What's it like?
What I like about the Bible Institute and the whole process of that is it lines up with Steve's preaching so well that, like, when you're learning all the stuff this guy is teaching from when is this class made originally? Like the New Testament surveys? They seem pretty
probably old. Yeah.
But the information, the information though is still new and still like alive, I guess you could say. And it matches up with everything I've been listening to Steve say for like a long time. So it's kind of cool with all those classes always lining up so well with Steve's preaching, because nothing seems foreign and nothing seems like, nothing's new, but it is a lot more, it is more in depth. And you kind of see where Steve gets his preaching style and a lot of information even from those classes. And it kind of gives you an inside kind of gives you the inside. I don't know, like you probably. I don't know.
Gives you like an inside scoop.
My
Context.
vocabulary is limited.
Yeah, you did fine.
No,
It's
great
all
answer. And sort of before this most recent stint, you were in Nashville with your brothers with the band Fuel on Fire, and you were pursuing a career in music. Do you have any like neat experiences from Nashville that you'd want to share? Or like, how was it just trying to pursue music for a living?
It was an experience for sure. After, looking back at the 4 years, it was definitely a good learning experience, but what we were shooting for, I don't think we are all ready for it just as individuals. And, but it was still a really good learning experience. It definitely pushed us to our next level in growth. And now coming back to the Vineyard after being gone for 4 years, I look back at all the years in Nashville and I see how much it's helped me to carry on like all my knowledge into the Vineyard now that I'm there. So, I mean, that's kind of my answer.
Cool.
Awesome. Do you have any other questions that could stem off those? Because I bunny trail easily. So
let's see.
Well, you guys went up there because your heart was to really make it in the music industry, right? That was the whole sort of thrust, and I think it was good that you spent so much time as a band, and the idea was to go to Nashville and really give it all in 100%. Let's see if we can make it work, and so it was a good shot. But it's fascinating too because there's so much because you guys are very talented. I always you guys before you left, most of you were involved with our worship stuff. I think everybody very talented. But it's not apparently very easy to make it in the music business.
Yeah, there's no formula really. It's who you know. I don't know. Like there's so many factors, and it's all like I said. There's no formula. It's kind of just. I think at the heart of it, as a group, we weren't chasing. Like I feel like it wasn't our. Whatever we were trying to do was. Like the music wasn't there yet. Like I could tell the character, like it just wasn't, we didn't grow our craft enough. I don't think, just, it's hard to explain, but.
So that's a pretty open-ended question, but you're still making music now. You have some songs on Spotify. Are you making any more of those songs? Is Curtis Drums?
Yeah. It's been on pause for a little bit since starting, trying to make income. All the guys got normal jobs, and I'm probably have the most. I still do what I want. Everyone else is kind of doing like, Eddie was working at Target for a long time. Joey just got a job at Amazon, and then Ben, he was working at the post office for a long time. He just got a job at a church in Tennessee, so I think he's doing what he wants now, and that's good. He suffered the, all of us had to learn a discipline, I guess, that we didn't have before as a band, just like living off each other and like waking up every day at like, between 10 and 2 p.m. So we all had to grow and, learn some discipline that if we do come back to the music thing, we're going to come back a lot stronger because we have the discipline of normal people and we can apply ourselves a lot better. So
nice. And so, you talked about making income here. Your main source of income is photography and wedding videos, right? And how's that been going with everything going on?
So when I came here, it was originally wedding videography. That was my goal, and then I started off just doing everything, and then real estate came in, and I got a lot of good income from real estate. Corona hit, and real estate kind of continued, but at a slow pace, and it's kind of been at a constant low since Corona. So it's really good that I have the church to generate that, like, just steady income, even if it's low, to just help me pay the rent. So, and wedding videos, people are still getting married in the midst of the virus, so that's good.
Yeah.
I've
It's
been able
nice
to make a decent profit.
love perseveres through Rona time, right? So awesome.
sure.
Oh, Georgina has a good question for you. She says, "What's your favorite Bible verse and favorite book of the Bible, Kurt?"
It's either I wouldn't on the top of my head Jeremiah 29:11, classic, the hope and future verse, and then book probably like Luke, but
Good choice.
I don't know. I'd
I
have
like
to look.
Luke.
My memory is slightly dim, but
Luke is one of my favorites too. But whatever I'm reading is always one of my favorites. So
Sure.
it's all good. There's no wrong answer for that question. And your mom just said too. Eddie just started at the church as well. It was his first day at the church, so Eddie's working there too. There you go. Very cool.
wow.
So
Yeah, and now they're asking what they do. Go ahead.
I think from what I heard, they're doing more production stuff at the church, but they're involved in the worship up there occasionally too. So I think, is that right, Kurt?
Yeah, Eddie plays bass all the time. Ben's a master at guitar. So, but they have a lot of talent in Nashville when it comes to playing music. But the brains and the know-how, I think, are what they kind of demand. And Eddie and Ben are super smart when it comes to Ben, especially when it comes to audio. And then Eddie, he's really good with all the buttons. Like Eddie pretty much taught Doug how to do lighting at the beginning. Doug definitely advanced after Ed's initial push. But so yeah, that's what Ed's doing. I'm pretty sure Ed's actually doing video.
Huh.
I think that's his main thing there right now. They're trying to get him to be they're the video producer. So basically the video guy.
Well, good. I'm glad that they're working at a church. That's a good thing.
I honestly haven't talked to him about it yet. I've heard more from Doug than.
Well, your mom just commented. I didn't even know he took that job yet.
Yeah.
So
I
let's,
just saw the comment.
that's live streaming for you, huh? Well,
Yeah, the things we get to find out.
one last question. Anything coming up that you're excited about, Kurt?
Church this Sunday. Me and Doug and Jerry and Remington all put a ton of work into the system, at least the last 2 days. Sunday, just, the fruits, we barely got to work it in, but Sunday was good. But ever since Sunday, I've spent at least 16 hours at the church since Sunday trying to dial things in. So I'm excited to hear church this weekend. That's what I'm looking forward to.
Cool.
Yeah, it's good. The guys have worked really hard on our sound system. We put in a lot of new sound equipment last year, and then this year we put in a whole new speaker system. Was it in January we did that?
I think we did it in February.
February.
Yeah.
So,
and we had the system, but we didn't get the time to tweak it. Everyone's just been so busy.
Well,
and so now we're really tweaking it.
A few months later, we were told to lock down, so we got delayed a bit. But now we're doing all the stuff we would have done in March, so it's coming back.
Yeah, and a lot of people haven't even heard it yet, the sound system, because some people haven't come.
Yeah, a lot of
since
people
it's
haven't
all
come yet.
going through there. Yeah, but we're grateful for the ones that are coming, and that's all good. And good stuff. Good stuff. All right. Well, let's see.
Oh
what
yeah, you
else
guys
we
asked
got.
what I do at the church. I also play drums. That's supposed to be kind of my main thing, but
Yeah.
Oh, here's a good Kurt question. How many drones have you gone through?
3 in my lifetime. I mean, only one of them died. I still have two drones that live on.
And you have your racing drone too. Are you counting that?
Yeah, I'm counting my racing drone.
Okay.
Yeah, that's some crazy footage when I watch it. It almost makes me want to puke.
Yeah, so a lot of people say that. They'll send the throw up emoji.
Yeah. No, it whips through there. Cool.
Yeah, it flies really
All right.
good in the church.
I don't want to know that stuff.
One of the funniest stories. I think it's more on Ben than it is on Kurt. They had set up an indoor battery-operated go-kart track, right, inside the church. And there's actually a video that you made of this intense GoPro footage of the go-kart going around the tables and chairs and the
we made a
concrete
cinematic.
wall.
We made a cinematic video of the go-karts racing in the church.
And like Fran and I knew about it before Dad did, and we just kind of like kept it tight-lit because we kind of thought it was awesome. But then I think Ben left 2 of them charging right by the kitchen door. And so Dad walks in. He's like, "What the heck is going on?
Why are there go-karts in the church?"
Here's what was happening, was that there was, every time I would come into the facility, there were things not right. Chairs not right, and carpet mats not right. And I was like, what is going on? And I all of a sudden realized that they were having these they'd made go-kart tracks in there and were running them around the church. And they were only doing it when I wasn't there, because they knew I would have said no. I shut it down when I found out. And so I was like, and the funny thing was, so back in some years ago, I had almost all of Kurt's older brothers were doing the Bible Institute with me. And I had a couple of groups going through there, and his parents were in another group that I had going, and they were doing it as well. But I had the young guys in, and I was sort of mentoring them, and we were going through Bible classes together. And Kurt would sit in with them then, but you really weren't taking the classes.
I slacked.
Yeah.
You were 16, 17, 18 at the time, so
but anyway,
I regret it though because there's so much classes.
Yeah. What they would do though is they were very helpful, and they were learning, and they were all part of the ministry, and we were training them, and that would.
I left so many screwdrivers in so many random places.
They still do it, but if that's one of those huge life lessons that people would get. It's so important. Finish your circles, and for especially for young people going to work somewhere else, finish your circles. You will make it'll just make everybody happy. Makes everybody work better, and it's a really good thing. So that's cool. And yeah, well, there you go. What's your favorite hymn?
Before I answer that, Doug, did the stream fail again?
It derped
did.
for a second. I guess I shouldn't say. I don't know what the correct word is. Derp probably isn't it. It had a moment. Yeah. So, but it's back on live now. Apparently, clear end. I don't know what happened. I stretched my leg, and it froze. And then
sorry.
That's okay. No, this isn't a question. Georgina just appreciates your announcement videos because you direct all those. Another thing you do.
Yeah.
So
those are very good. So you have to ask, what's your favorite hymn?
Victory in Jesus.
Okay.
What is that a hymn with the song that's it's about his eyes on the sparrow? Is that a hymn or is that just a normal song?
yeah. No, that's a hymn, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
I think of it in a minute.
those.
His eyes on the sparrow, and the rest of it.
And I know he watches me or something.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, very good. Okay.
I had to pull that out of my
Very
bluegrass
cool.
roots.
You did good. All right. Okay.
So
you want me to talk about the sermon?
yeah, go ahead. We're doing Unshakable Foundation Part 8 this week. Is that right, Dad?
That's correct. And we're going to be in Luke chapter 24. So if you get a chance to read it, I'm going to talk about the 2 disciples leaving Jerusalem. I talked about it not all that long ago, Cleopas and the other disciple, who I think it's Cleopas and his wife because it makes sense. And they went to Jerusalem, and they thought this was going to be Jesus' sort of making his big entry, and everything was going to happen, and he ends up being crucified, and they leave disappointed, and then Jesus walks with them on the road, and he sort of tells them, all the scriptures were about him, and that's what we've been talking about in our whole study. So I'm going to pull that in, and so I don't want to give too much of that away early on, but all of these passages we're looking at here in the last few weeks is how Jesus is the fulfillment of Israel's scripture. And it makes a big deal of that in this story because Jesus makes a big deal of it. And he says, I'm all over the place in there. You can read about it. And then I'm going to talk about the timetable a little bit. I said God's on the timetable last week. Jesus chooses to go to the cross and everything on Passover, and he ties in. He literally what he's doing is bringing in the feasts of Israel. Israel had 7 feasts that they observed every year, and you can read all 7 of those in Leviticus 23. And really, Leviticus 23 would be the one chapter of Scripture that all of the people of Israel would know, because it spelled out these 7 feasts that they had to maintain, and they had to keep the Day of Atonement, or else they would be kicked out, basically. So they knew what was going on, and Jesus comes and starts fulfilling them prophetically in the things that he does. And he comes and fulfills Passover and unleavened bread, which are within a couple of days of each other, and then early first fruits. All 3 of those he hits with his death and resurrection and fulfills them perfectly. And then Holy Spirit comes in 50 days later at Pentecost. That's 4 of the feasts. And then the last 3 feasts are trumpets, atonement, and tabernacles, and we're waiting on trumpets right now. So we're in the big harvest season between the 2. But that's the timetable that we're on. So I think that's kind of fascinating as well. We're going to touch on that a little bit. And then I got a cool way to end the story with Luke. And so we'll jump back into that at the end. And there's some pretty neat stuff that happens. So that's what's coming up. So if you get a chance, read Luke chapter 24 and Leviticus chapter 23, and you'll be all ready for the message.
Awesome. Looking forward to it. Luke, it's your favorite book of the Bible, Kurt.
Yeah.
It is now.
There you go.
You think Luke was actually named Lucas?
It's not even how you can. It's
Hebrew translation.
Hebrew, yeah.
Well, Greek. Luke's an interesting. Luke was a doctor, physician, and we believe that he was sort of Paul's personal physician. He traveled with Paul because Paul had some issues. That's what's thought. He was also an artist, Luke, and thought of to be an artist, and he actually. His writing is very artsy, and the way he ties stories together is very fascinating.
Wasn't his alternate name Theophilus? Is that right, or am I thinking of someone else?
No, Luke wrote to Theophilus.
Okay, I knew something was up with Theophilus.
There you go, Theophilus, which means lover of God. So Luke wrote his Gospel, Luke, and the Book of Acts. Luke wrote both of those. So Luke writes a big chunk of the New Testament. Between those 2 books, and he was writing to Theophilus, which means lover of God. But so either there was somebody who actually was named Theophilus, which most people believe, or he was just writing to all the lovers of God and put that in there. But they actually believe he was writing to a person, and he documented the life of Jesus, and then in Acts he documented the church. And so he's one of the best historians ever, and was great with detail and very expressive in his writing, and tied a lot of neat things together in the story. Like in Luke 24, we're reading Jesus. So there's this couple, Cleopas and his wife, and they don't connect the story. And Jesus says, you're kind of slow that you're not connecting these things. You should get it. This is what had to happen. And back in Luke chapter 2, there's another couple who sort of have a similar experience. And, that Luke 24 is on the 3rd day. If you go and read in Luke chapter 2, I won't have time to bring this in on the weekend, but you remember Mary and Joseph take Jesus to Jerusalem, and they lose him there. And they can't find him, and they find him on the 3rd day, and he's teaching in the temple. And he looks at them and says, well, you should have known I'd been here. What's the whole deal? And it's sort of, he makes these connections. You should see the connection between those 2 stories. And that's what he's doing. So, and I'm sure it was a pretty big shock to Mary and Joseph that when they lost Jesus there for a little while, because they thought he was in the caravan and he wasn't. Yeah. You have, in your family, there was a lot of kids, Kurt. Did you ever leave anybody behind?
Yeah, I got left behind quite a bit, I feel. even in my later years, like even when I had a phone, I got left behind and my phone was in the van, and I had to try to like borrow someone's phone. No one would let me use their phone. I was stuck there for like an hour.
The youngest, Charlie, got left behind when he was quite young too, and just stayed home and played Halo all day. That's what I heard. So
Oh yeah, in Ramrod.
Yep.
Worst ever was when Garrett got left at a restaurant and cops brought him to a church we were hanging out at.
Oh, your poor mother.
A cop taps my dad's shoulder, and while we're in the middle of service, my dad thinks it's one of his kids. My dad's like, "What?" And it's a cop, and my dad's like, Good times. I don't know. People can know. It's funny.
Well, they know now, but
they know now.
Not a whole lot of people know. Yeah.
It's a good story,
That
I
is
think.
funny. Yeah, it's cute. Everybody's safe. You all made it, so that's good.
Garrett got a free ride in a cop car.
Yeah, hey, you know, it happened. It happened in Jesus' family, right? It happens in the best of families. There you go. So it's all good. It works out. All right.
Oh,
Well,
Bill and Sandra. See, I never know who runs their Facebook page. Is it Bill or Sandra? Because that could be either one of them.
either one of
That's a mystery with joint Facebook pages.
Yeah.
Ken says, interesting.
Well, one more question, and then we'll do our sponsors and say goodnight, Vineyard. Georgina always asks the best questions. She wants to know what Bible characters each one of you would want to personally meet after you see Jesus.
Probably King David. Because he's musical. We could talk about music, and then we could talk about how much of a beast he is, and then, I don't know.
Dad, what about you?
Oh my goodness.
Just say Luke.
Nah, you know, I'd probably want to go sit down and hang out with Paul for a little while, but that's just because I've been really, really nerding on Paul's letters lately. So I think he would probably be fascinating to talk with, among others. You know, there's a bunch of them I hope I can go hang out with and spend some time with.
It's a good question, though. I never thought about it.
For me, it would be one of two people. It would either be Adam or Noah. Because, like, I'd ask Adam, it would be really quick. A, belly button or no? And then I go over to Noah. I'm like, were there dinosaurs on the boat? Like, so... And those might be two really quick answers, so that I got nothing
their
else to do. Their
personalities, I feel like Noah probably had a very primal personality, I feel like. Who knows, though? I don't know.
Yeah, we'll find out.
Yeah, one of those two. But yeah, you guys had very good answers. So we'll do our sponsors, and we will wrap it up. The show, Hello Vineyard, sponsored by Ableton Live, with an imaginary endorsement from them, our software. Well, one of our softwares that does it. Also sponsored by the Keys Vineyard Community Church, your only Keys Vineyard Community Church located in Big Pine Key, Florida. We're also sponsored by the Jesus Moment Bible Institute, Vineyard Church Online, Keys Vineyard Church Online, and our Keys Vineyard app. You can go in there, get access to all of our content, get the sermon bulletin, all that good stuff. Any other sponsors, Dad? Did we add any?
Gibson.
Gibson and my children are also now sponsors too.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
But hey, thank you so much, Kurt, for being a part. I just kind of threw him on the spot. You did great. It was great hearing from you. And thank you guys who are watching so much for being patient with our technical things going on. It was all over the place, but I'm glad we, had a pretty consistent stream most of the time. And Kurt, our video guy, of course, has the nicest video setup. I have a little thumbnail of him, and it's just like, he's got the aperture going on or whatever, so.
The bokeh.
The bokeh.
The background blur, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. Very cool. Good. He doesn't have a cat behind him, though.
No, he doesn't.
Yeah.
But I also don't have to clean a litter box, so.
Well, there you go. Yeah.
And on that note, goodbye, Vineyard.
Goodbye, Vineyard.
See ya.
Have a great night, everyone.